Hello there, Scrumptious Cookie. Welcoming you back to another yummy update. Look at this chart, friends. This is a very important chart. We have seen now the largest accumulation of BitFinex Whales on ETH BTC in history by a long shot. Like the most now. Now, BitFinex, friends, remember, BitFinex is a very old exchange. So why people like to track them is, see, not everyone's an amazing winner and trader all the time, but the BitFinex Whales, the biggest accounts on BitFinex, because it's such an old exchange, they are, you'd think they have a lot of experience and they don't want to move anywhere. So they're basically doing everything profitable on average. So you kind of think, okay, over time, they've lasted a long time. They seem to do pretty good, okay? They don't get everything right all the time, but they do. Right now, look at this. They are accumulating the most ETH BTC longs in history, which means long Ethereum, short Bitcoin. That's what they're doing right now. Look at this. It's literally gone huge. Huge, all right? So they're accumulating. Now, remember, they played like, because they're big whales, they play big ranges. Like, you know, they buy like, you know, every week or 2 weeks. They're probably, it's big swings, yeah? But look at this, man. This is freaking enormous, friend. This is absolutely huge. Look at that. They've never been this long before. They're like enormous. And they have a good win rate. So that's beautiful. And doesn't mean you should, look, obviously don't follow the trading or anything. Like you shouldn't be, to be honest, because Ethereum's so like cheap, you shouldn't be short Bitcoin per se, but they do this because the volatility of that is less than the volatility of an outright position being long one thing. So what I can do now is just show you ETH BTC itself. You know, you're like, hey, that's not a chart. That's a floppy wheelie. I know, going all the way down. So they've been like on an enormous amount. My gosh, a huge amount because it's just been going down and down. Man, 5 red monthly candles in a row, man. You got to do something like that, at least that or something. But, oh, how much time, friends? How much time? Because, you know, in the alt seasons, the common theme is, this is ETH BTC. So in 2021, this was 3 green months in a row, but Ethereum itself, I think, did 6 green candles in a row, the US dollar price. Okay. So the ratio is hard to pick. The ratio never went euphoric here. That's why this thing is horrific. The ratio never went euphoric. It just went somewhere, sat here, and then it's retraced all the way down. It's pretty much a scam. But if you look at the previous cycle where we actually did the nuclear run-ups, look at this. It had like huge euphoria. All right, it had like this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 euphoria, come back down. So that was what made it tricky because it didn't even go euphoric. It just went up there, just started distributing and couldn't do anything after that. Continuing to you, my baby dolls, for another yummy update, the most yummiest, of course. The stock market S&P 500 chart sitting around here. I guess the market now has to price in what they think about these tariffs and what's going to happen. I guess it's nice to see such a big reversal. I don't know. No one knows, right? Are we going to go back down for a stab and force the Fed? I don't know. We could look. The way I feel it, man, we're going through such a tough time. I feel like if the Fed's going to pivot, it's because the bonds are getting cucked. Yeah? That's what I feel like. I feel like the bonds, there's a lot of weak hands in the bonds. Yeah? Japan, China, like they're just, yeah. There's a lot of weak hands in the bonds. They're all like turbo long. There might be some capitulation. Remember the bonds, that's the government money. Yeah, so the government wants the prices to go up because they're supplying the bonds, yeah. And they get to refinance at a cheaper rate of the debt if the bond prices are up. So if you're curious, you could go and type in ZN, which is the 10-year T-note futures, into TradingView. You could also look at ZB, the 30-year, but that's like pretty far out. So the ZN, pretty much the Treasuries, that's what everyone wants. That's like the risk-free rate pretty much that everyone trades off. Now, the value is 110 here. So the yield is, it's very annoying to look at the yield. So you have to type in US 10Y. That's to show you, right? But then you got to invert it. Just, you know, so because this thing going up is bad, right? Because the yield's gone up 4.4, 5% here, 5.4. Like, oh my gosh. Look, that's why everyone's scared, right? Is that maybe even the US Fed, right? Like this chart, are you making a wedge where you go up and this thing goes up here? That's like the Fed's going to have to buy the bonds at that point. Because America's debt, friends, it's huge, bro. It's 7 to 9 trillion. The interest rates are too much. They have to get the rates down. They've never had rates this high before, especially with this large of debt. The debt GDP is big. They need another way out. Now, also funny, I wanted to just show you this, friends. So it's now been it's been 26 days since PDI was discovered to have an infinite minting bug. 26 days, which is funny. 26 days. I wonder if the narrative is going to shift if ETHBTC goes up. Oh, yeah. Me dancing around here on the farm, having fun here. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now, when it comes to any of these altcoins, you know the game now, man. Like, that's why, friends, any person who says, this coin's trash, this coin's down, I literally don't even bother looking. Okay, I honestly, I don't. All I look at is ETHBTC. I go, oh, we're still cucked, hey? I'm not joking. I promise you, I don't even look at the coin chart, man. I pay no attention to it. I look at this, I'm like, okay, wrecked. Wrecked, I go, dude, don't even bother looking, yeah? We need like some huge thing back up here. And by the way, this is still a shockingly trash price, 0.03. Dude, you were cheap here, bro. You know what I mean? You were still cheap here. But it is what it is. We can't do anything, you know? We need, when ETHBTC's up, it is what it is. And they'll all be moving up together. So I really do mean, I don't judge any coin. Oh, you're down, your liquidity's down, you're down 99%, doesn't matter. It's pretty much all zero. Who cares whether you're down 80% or 99%? I know the dollar amount difference, but the liquidity's so thin, ETHBTC's created to zero anyway. So hopefully those ETHBTC whales have something to do with it. Remember, friends, I reported this for you. The White House Economic Advisor says the bond market may have contributed to the tariff decision, but did not cause a panic. So remember Donald Trump and the tariffs and China and everything out here, it all comes down to the bonds, man. If those bonds can't go up in price, there's only one emergency person. J Powell, friends. J Powell. I want to show you something as well. Look how oversold, friends, Ethereum is. Dude, we're getting cucked. We're getting scammed, bro. Look at this. Ethereum is below its realized price of $2,000. Now, I forgot exactly how the realized price is. I think it's basically where everyone buys and does something and like deposits into an address. I forgot what it is. It's basically, it should be the floor, okay? And in a bear market, you go under it irrationally, but that's free money. That's what happened in Bitcoin. When you buy Bitcoin under its Bitcoin realized price, it's free money in the bear markets, okay? Bro, what the hell are you doing down here, man? Look, friends, you know, in zombie virus, look, it didn't even hit it in zombie. It just came back and it dipped below the realized price, $100 for the zombie virus momentarily. Look how deep this is. What are you doing, man? So there is scamming going on here. We're going to figure it out later, okay? I wouldn't be surprised, man, if it's just, I'll be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if it's straight BlackRock. I would not be surprised because they have all the stablecoins on Ethereum. I love this as well, friends. The White House, look, they're quoting Donald Trump from 2014. Deals are my art form. Other people paint beautifully or write poetry. I like making deals, preferably big deals. That's how I get my kicks. The White House is cooking up memes. Fart of the deal. So, meme. Remember, friends, I still believe we have a MemeCoin SuperCycle and a Stablecoin SuperCycle. I think we can have both, right? They're both extremes parts of the risk curve. The Stablecoin SuperCycle, low risk, yeah? You're just getting your yield, yeah? MemeCoin SuperCycle, extreme risk, okay? I guess in people's perception of their minds, but really, they're not actually that risky because, they say people, oh, you got no fundamentals in this stuff. Yeah, but your thing has no fundamentals at all. We don't actually need your token for shit. You're opening it at a $300 million market cap. No one needs your token for anything. You're building for a roadmap that's never going to play out to fruition anyway. And in the next bear market, you guys are just going to dump and leave and move to the next narrative anyway. So that's the world we live in. Press up, Johnny. Press up. We need that market to pump in May. Quite the pump, we say. Don't forget, baby dolls. Habibi, come to PulseChain. It's going to be a fantastic bull market when it comes in 2030. Checking out PulseChain's ecosystem prices today, friends, because you have a bit of the tipsies and the turvies up and down and swinging around. Yeah, nothing much really to report here. When we're dry rating these areas for the stock market S&P, we just, our plan is, once again, waiting, man. Fifth red monthly candle, bro. What the hell? Man, I remember, friends, I even did that interview when Trump won. I went on to Corey's show. Shout out to Corey Spaghetti Meatballs. We were so optimistic, man, because we're just like, well, they got to roll over the debt. He's going to cut taxes. He's pro-crypto. Okay, we've eradicated soy from a large part of the earth. Never fully gone, but a large part of the earth. Soy has been dissipated, or at least kept at bay for a while. And then you just get cucked. Literally cucked. The buy and burn PulseX, 6.88%. This thing keeps ticking up and down. There's some of these weird numbers. But yes, we're still slaves to the system, friends. Nothing else we can do, man. I still hold, still long and strong. Don't feel strong right now. Feel soft and noodle army. Feel noodle army, but we're still long and strong, man. Like, just because the price gets cheaper doesn't mean you stop believing. It means the price got cheaper. Yeah, you just got kicked in the nuts again. Over and over and over again. I'm hoping, man. I'm hoping we get some sort. Can you just stop going down, bro? What the hell is if you've round tripped back to May 2017? What a joke. Others are only 13% of Bitcoin's price. I still believe we get to 60% one day. Yeah. All the cypherpunks are in Ethereum land, altcoin land. They're in PulseChain. The cypherpunks are no longer in Bitcoin. Bitcoin is just, it's government. It's government skeptical, Michael Saylor, turbo leverage long money now. We know that. We all know that. So they're building for a future where there's privacy solutions, decentralized stablecoins, and all these other rails out here. I believe in that future, right? I know it doesn't look like much right now, but I'm telling you now, man, these bids are fugazi. These bids aren't fugazi. It makes you a bit envious. You're like, bro, you get to like not buy for 5 years and then you get to go all in here and crush it. Yeah, but the world works like that as well. And no one ever does that. No one ever does that. Because I mark my words, there are people getting in long now. They're going to sell very fast when it goes up. Very fast. Because they see us as a bunch of losers. They're like, you hold. You've been here for 4 or 5 years. You're still trash. So when it goes up a bit, they're like, I'm not going to end up like you. I'm going to sell and take profit. And I'll do this 15,000 times. And then they'll all do it. And then you get the famous disbelief pump. The hated rally. Where they end up buying back in a more aggressive. You'll see it. Like, subscribe, bell button, or catch you soon.